Now, who else is bored besides me? But I'm bored out of my mind. We'll see if anybody else is bored. May not be. Hey, Anthony, fish friends. I guess you're up a light pole somewhere. Hey, William. Yeah, I was just bored. Thought I'd get on stream for a little while. I think Melvin comes on in about an hour. Hey, Small Fry Aquatics. Welcome. Yeah, man, it's been a boring day. There ain't been nothing going on. Kept thinking Catfish Terry would stream, but he hadn't streamed today. And I missed it yesterday. Hat Trick Farm, welcome. How's your fish doing? Link if anybody wants to come up. Because we got 5 people watching, so there are bored people out there. I hear you, Small Fries. Pretty much what I did. I cleaned the house, I cooked, I cleaned the house, I cooked. There's nothing seems to be going on much on Tuesdays.
Hey, man, thanks for the invite.
Oh, you're welcome. There's nothing seems to be going on much on Tuesdays.
No, I'll tell you. Hey, man, thanks for the invite.
Not during the day, anyway.
No, I'll tell you.
Not during the day, anyway.
And I'm getting some echo in here. I must have something done
I think it was
incorrectly.
me. I think it was me. I forgot to mute YouTube. It should
Oh,
go
okay.
away.
Gotcha.
It,
All
it
right.
should it should go away.
I must have something done
I think it was
incorrectly.
me. I think it was me. Still there. I hear it, but barely. It's not bad enough that we have to really worry about it. Still there. I hear it, but barely. It's not bad enough that we have to really worry about it. Not sure where it's coming from. Hey, Zen Ginger. Hey, that's fine. Hey, Bama Mudmore. I'm from New Albany, Mississippi, close to Tupelo. Not far at all from you. Zen, you got any new fish in?
How about you? Have you gotten any new fish in?
No, I'm not gonna get any. I'm not gonna get any new fish in until I get my fish room going.
Gotcha. I got some stuff on order, but it's not ready to ship yet. I'm trying to look over this list, and I believe I'm going to have some half black reds guppies coming in, half black, white leopards and some American greens coming in.
Cool. Jesse's sitting on some black ram fry.
Oh,
And,
no kidding.
and I'm hoping to get some of those when they get big enough to ship.
Oh, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
This is like his fourth batch, and the first three batches he tried leaving the parents in and letting them raise them, and they kept eating eggs. So this time he pulled the parents.
Yeah, you never can tell how that's going to go, you know? Sometimes you got to pull them. Sometimes you get good parents. And I've had that with different kinds of plecos too. Some are great, some are horrible.
Yeah, that's Streetwise Wyoming Adventures. Then says she has 8 new Epistos and 5 new baby girl betas.
Yep, I was just looking at that. How nice.
Then you missed a good stream last night for my Monday night stream. Had Blake's Aquatics as a guest.
Oh, wow. I wish I would have caught that. I got to tell you, I've been struggling with this knee and went to the doctor today, and he goes, "Oh, no, your knee's doing really good." I said, "Well, you got to try from my side, buddy." But
all they see is a picture of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he felled around in this thing. Well, you don't have a lot of swelling. You don't have this. He goes, "This is where we would expect you to be in 3 weeks." And well, all right. And theoretically, I was supposed to have the other knee done tomorrow. And I said, "There's no way I can. I can't get up and down stairs. I'm slow right now. If you take this other knee out, Jesus. So he agreed to put it off until August. But
that's probably good. That'd give the virus. So. That'd give the virus time to die down a little bit too.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I had to go probably more this go around than I have lately, but I get nervous about going in and out of hospitals because there's somebody there with the virus.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
but the hospitals have been doing really good about keeping everything separated, and kind of makes you feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. Wyoming Adventure says, "I'm in the same situation you are. You must be going through the knee replacement stuff, Wyoming." Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst pain. It's just that you can't sleep and stuff, and I know Sand Creek. I know you go through the same stuff. You've had quite a few surgeries, and yeah, I went through the same. Like I say, I mean, not to belabor this long point, but my wife was in the hospital. The last 2.5 years were just horrible for her, and I think I've counted 82 hospitalizations in that 2.5 years.
Man,
it's
practically lived there.
Yeah, I mean, 3 or 4 days here, 1 or 2 days there, 2 weeks on the other side, and we didn't even have a virus to worry about. You had all the other stuff. I mean, you can get, what are the other ones they talk about? The one that attacks your gastro system and MRSA, and that's just all the crap you can get. So, so I hear you, man. So, yeah, Wyoming is saying
I'm doing good.
Oh, good. I'm sorry, Sand Creek. I didn't mean to.
Oh, you didn't interrupt me, but I'm doing good. I'm looking at getting a bike, start riding a bike every day.
Nice. There's a in my neighborhood. I'm way out in the country, and a brand new development. It's the biggest dichotomy you could ever imagine. And there's a lady. She looks like she's got to be 150 years old, and she drives one of those 3-wheeled bicycles, and her little legs are just barely going along, and she's got the flag that waves on the back. Anybody goes by, she stops and she waves at them. I mean, this has got to be her whole social life, She probably gets back to, well, I saw Bob from the other street over there, and then I saw that small fry guy. He was over on this other street, and I just bet it's got to be her day for her. So,
we have the perfect place here in North Mississippi to ride. There was a train track that went. The head of the trail starts in New Albany, actually where I live, and goes down to past Houston, Mississippi. It's like 50-something miles.
Wow!
And they took the railroad track up and turned it into a walking biking track.
Mm.
So it's completely flat, asphalt, has stops along the way for water and resting and whatever.
We have one of those out here. So I'm in Northeast Ohio, and this one goes, like you say, they covered up the railroad tracks, so you're kind of following that out, and you go from I want to say you start in Elyria and you go down to Oberlin for as if any of those cities make sense unless you're out inside of Ohio, but
Right.
it's the most scenic thing you can imagine. You look to your right, it's pasture. You look to your left, it's wheat fields and sunflowers, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And for the first 20 miles, I mean, it's nonstop. You don't have to stop for anything. And the funny part is, though, because of the COVID virus, they used to have every couple of miles, a couple benches you could stop and sit and stretch your legs and this and that. They got all the hazard tape across. Don't sit here.
Yeah.
We've got the virus. Don't sit there. It's like, oh, good Lord. I mean, I get the cautionary stuff, but maybe what I think I would rather see out here in the country is sit here at your own risk, or one of those kind
Yeah,
of things.
something a little less aggressive.
Yeah, it's like ay. Because I thought I saw Streetwise said down here that post stream. I didn't like that kid dismissing masks. Okay, and Sanjender, which kid Streetwise? Whatever your feelings, masks are a form of kindness and generosity.
Yeah, I know
I can't.
Streetwise.
Go ahead,
I
Stan.
know who you're talking about, and I've tried to talk to him, and tried to talk to him. She's talking about. I think she's talking about Fish Whisperer.
Mm,
Miles.
okay. This is somebody that just doesn't want to.
He's just a kid, and he's got his own mindset and says that this is all fake, and whatever. You can only encourage. You can't make.
Boy, is that for sure. Well, I guess my point is I don't really know, so I wear the mask where I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
And I got a couple of them, one in my pocket, one in the car, one in my jacket. And if I see a bunch of people that have them, it goes to me, well, apparently it's important to them, so I'll strap that on, go to the doctor's appointment. And it was odd, up until now when I've gone to physical therapy or the doctor, it's been mandatory. Today was optional. You could wear it or not. And so I went ahead and put it on anyway because, like I say, it seems important to people, and I'm not smart enough to figure out, the right thing. So, and it's not that big of an inconvenience. So,
Yeah, it's not that big. It's just hot at times, depending on where you're at. Especially if you wear eyeglasses, it fogs up your glasses. But other than that, it's just getting in the habit of putting it on, taking it off.
oh sure. Have you tried the trick of using shaving cream on your eyeglasses?
I don't because I have glasses, but I never wear them, so it's not been a big deal to me.
Okay. Theoretically, that stops the fogging, but I understand what you're saying.
I've heard somebody else say that too. Shaving cream helps with the fogging.
Yeah, I don't know if it works. I haven't tried it either. So
I'm gonna say it does. I know there's things that you can put on the mirror in your bathroom to keep them from fogging up when you're in the shower and stuff. So
yeah.
I'm sure there's stuff out there that you can put on your glasses.
Yep. Streetwise is saying I'm healthy, but I work in the school system remote now, so it's always on my mind. Yeah, especially even before this whole COVID came around. My wife years ago taught, and I'm telling you, she came home with every case of flu and a cold and everything you could get. Kids have, and so we got to do things, I think, a little bit differently going forward. But I mean, I don't know what it is,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I wear my mask. It may not. They say it don't protect you, but it protects others. I seem to think it has to help some protect yourself.
I think it does too. I mean, they're talking now. I mean, if you think back, so in my former job, I was a federal bank examiner and a federal investigator, and I did operational risk and technology and some other stuff. And so one of the jobs was pandemic planning. And so when H1N1 came around, what was that, like 10 years ago or something like that? And we had to go in there and figure out, well, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. And we tried to have a united front so that everybody did the same thing from a federal perspective, as opposed to what we're doing right now, where everybody's kind of doing something different. But we knew that we did not, it was one of those, what do you know or what don't you know? Well, we don't know a lot of stuff. It was like back when HIV first came around. We didn't know if a mosquito bit an HIV person and then went to a non-HIV person, whether they would get HIV. Eventually, we figured out that you didn't, right? Well, we didn't know with H1N1. Right now, we're kind of sure that if you cough, you sneeze, you're a juicy talker, you yell, you sing, you're putting those spray droplets out there. So the mask keeps those in on you and it keeps it away from you on the other side. Well, that logic makes sense to me. I could get behind that. Not that big of a deal. So now whether it's true or not,
Good to see you. My stream's still in you still, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Zen Ginger
Alice
will reduce the spread.
I haven't seen you in a while, Alice.
Chewy says H1N1 mutation that was known as the Spanish flu in 18 hit Canada in 3 waves. I know that I'm way up there in years. My great-grandmother was still alive when I was a kid, and she told me about the Spanish flu. She actually lived in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and survived the big Johnstown flood. You guys can look that one up if you got a encyclopedia sitting around or a what's that other thing? Oh, they call it the World Wide Web. You could probably look it up on that too. But she talked about the 1918 flu. And she said what was so bad was not the fact of what hit over the summer. It's what hit in the fall afterwards, like 4 or 5 months later. She said that was just devastating. It wiped out not babies and not old people, but it took out that 20s, 30s, and 40-year age group.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. I'll post the link for you.
Hey, Streetwise is coming in fantastic.
Hey, Sunfish. Glad you made it. Yeah, we don't. That's the thing. We don't know what's going to happen this fall when it starts cooling back off and stuff.
Right.
And these riots that are going on now, they're not helping anything.
I'm sorry, Sand Creek. The what?
The riots and stuff that are going on.
Oh yeah.
They're not helping anything because the last thing they're worried about is some masks.
Oh yeah. I posted on my Facebook page today. My niece and nephew live in a place called Streator, Illinois. I mean, it's way off the beaten path. It's about an hour and a half south of Chicago. But they actually bussed in by bus. They brought in protesters. And I mean, it's just a little tiny town. We're way out in farm country. And what did they do? They targeted the pet store. So if you go over on my Facebook page, you guys, it's either Craig Hawks on Facebook or Small Fry Aquatics. I think both will get you there. And you'll get a view of it. And so what happened is there was a local motorcycle club, and I don't mean sportsmen, I mean these big burly motorcycle guys decided to protect the pet store overnight. And apparently they very successfully did that. The rioters and looters decided to move along. I don't know why they would target a pet
Yeah,
store,
that's what I was
but
gonna say. Why a pet store?
I couldn't begin to
Unless they
tell you.
wanted to get PETA involved or something.
Well, I got to tell you, I got a problem with PETA, and I think most of us do. But you know, I probably talked enough politics for today, so I don't know what their, you know, their thing was. And I know there are stories that that particular group had also tried to pre-buy pallet loads of brick and pallet loads of lumber to have them delivered along the route they were protesting, so they would have things to throw and, you know, things to beat you with, because they didn't want to bring them on the bus. I mean, you want to talk about people that are planning ahead of time, I'm telling you. So
I don't know what happened to Streetwise. I posted a link. Then he said something about he sent the computers home, so I don't know. I'll post it one more time. Let me know if you still want to come up, Streetwise. There's a link, and anybody else that wants to come up is welcome. So we're gonna keep this short and sweet. I don't want to run over Melvin too much.
yeah, and I was gonna say I'm gonna stop talking politics and let's get back on fish and stuff like that.
Yeah, protesting and writing is definitely two different things. Protesting is peaceful.
Oh yeah. So all right, so let me, I'll take this back to fish for a couple of minutes. I got a video up, but I wound up getting some automatic feeders from Aquarium Co-op, and these things have just wound up being a godsend for me. I can, you know, clamp it onto the tank, set it up for, you know, however many feedings I want. On my Pleco tanks, I'm doing 3 feedings a day. On my guppy tanks, I'm doing 6 feedings a day. Some of the tanks, I'm finding out real quick, 6 feedings is way too much. 4 works, but I'm going to try and document the growth and stuff like that. But
That'd be cool.
yeah, and these feeders are pretty awesome. I think the thing I like so much about Aquarium Co-op is they take simple things that have already been done, like they've got airline hose, and they coil it rather than kinking it, and they made it of a different material so that it doesn't kink and it doesn't discolor. And they did some things with sponge filters that are different. So they take the stuff that we all know and they add just enough to make it really interesting for you, really worth your while to maybe buy it. And, you know, so I mean, these auto feeders, I mean, I don't mean to say they're giving them away, but trust me, $20. They're a $20 buy.
Are they the new? Or I mean, did he get some new ones? Because I know he had some made, and then he quit selling them because he was getting like 7 out of 100 of them that were bad. Has he got some more out now?
Well, he's got some more out now, but it's the same caveat, you know, that they that there is a failure rate. They will replace them for you. I got to tell you, I bought 10 of them, and they all worked. I didn't have
Yeah.
a failure in there. So, I mean,
And I
I'm
don't
sorry.
think. I mean, 7 out of 100. I mean, I guess it depending on how many you sell, but that's really not that bad. I know. I know people want to stay like 3 or 4 per 100, but
I agree with you. Yeah, I didn't think that was much of a big deal at all. So,
the thing I like about Aquarium Co-op is their customer service and their speed of delivery.
yes, I agree with you. And they ship on Saturday, and they just do all kinds of stuff that a lot of people don't do.
Yeah,
So,
they have great customer service. Casey, and I got your mailing address for your sticker today in my email. I'll probably mail those out sometime toward the end of the week. Give everybody a chance to get their address in, and I'll mail them all at one time. Mothra, if you want a sticker, you can send me your mailing address.
oh, that'd be awesome. I would love one. Absolutely love one.
Just send it to me at my email address, which is Sand Creek Aquatics.
Okay.
My name at gmail.com.
Who prints your stickers for you?
I got these from Sticker Mule, and they're really nice stickers. They're waterproof. You can put them on the vehicle and not worry about them. They're an all vinyl printed sticker. They're really nice. Now,
Cool.
they're not the cheapest. Uh, I think they're. I think most people goes with like a 2x3 standard sticker. I went with a 3x3 oval, and they're a little less than $1 a piece.
That's not terribly unreasonable.
Of course, the more you buy, the cheaper they get.
Yeah, and I don't know how many I need. It's like I'm looking for T-shirts, and I don't know.
That's
if I
the
have
thing
any.
about it. Sticker Mule don't do T-shirts. All they do
Oh.
is stickers, coasters, and
Sort of hard goods and stuff.
yeah, they don't do T-shirts.
Yeah, do you know anybody that does a good job at a reasonable price on stickers? Or I'm sorry, on T-shirts and hats?
I don't, but you know, I'm in the same boat you are. I'm trying to get everything set up where I can do T-shirts. But seems like most people are going with Teespring.
Yeah, I see that too. And Teespring's really pricey.
It
Well,
is
what they do-
it is pricey, but the thing you have to think about T-shirts versus a sticker is you can order 1,000 stickers and you're good. But if you go out there and you order 1,000 extra large T-shirts, you're gonna have 150 people want mediums or 2X, and there you are stuck with a bunch of T-shirts on hand.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. It's not a sizing issue. What I've noticed too with a lot of the guys that use Teespring, they push the purchase off to their subscribers or their customers. Here's where you go if you want a Sand Creek T-shirt, a Small Fry T-shirt. You can go and do all that kind of. Well, I don't have that. What do I have? 370 some subscribers, of which maybe 4 of them might actually want to buy. So I'd like to find a good source for under $10 T-shirts where I could maybe include it with an order. Somebody bought a lot of fish. I'll throw in a T-shirt. But the way it is right now, T-shirts are 20-ish. For a decent T-shirt. So
yeah. And also Zen Ginger mentioned Jordan Aquatics does stickers too.
Oh, so I knew Jason did those, but he has a problem. I don't think he can cut round. I think he has to cut square, or maybe it's the other way. I forget what it is, because I did get some Small Fry stickers from him, but and then I ran through them and I didn't buy any more. But yeah, I do remember Jason does that. So.
Yeah,
What else we got here?
I've been meaning to check him out, but I haven't yet because I still have plenty of stickers. But I don't think he does T-shirts or anything like that.
No, he does not. He's strictly, printing and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm like you. I mean, even if I could find somewhere I could get a decent T-shirt that's washable and not fade and not peel or whatever, I'd be willing to buy like 3 or 4 mediums. Not many people's gonna buy mediums. I wear a medium, but not many people do. Like 5 large, 5 extra large, and 5 2X. I wouldn't mind doing that and just have them here.
Sure. Trying to think about medium. My God. So I'm one of my bandmates. I said, "What size shirt do you want?" He goes, "Get me a 2X. Even if it doesn't fit, I'll grow into it." It's like that's where I'm at. I'm right between 1X and 2X. I'm, whole lot bigger than I was in high school.
I can wear a large, but for the most part, if I know it's a good quality T-shirt, not gonna shrink much, I usually just buy a medium, like a Hanes or something like that. The Gideon, I really like is it Gideon T-shirts? Gideaon. Walmart used to be big in selling that brand. They don't sell it as much anymore. Those are really good T-shirts.
Are they? Yeah, I know with a lot of when I used to be a runner before I killed my knees and my back and stuff, you'd always get a T-shirt at a race, and all they ever gave out were extra larges. And we were all skinny back then. I said, "Don't you have like a large or something like that?" He goes, "Don't worry, wash it once, it'll be a large. Wash it once, it'll be a medium." And he wasn't wrong. I mean, it's crap shirts, but and Zen Ginger said y'all should check out the Print Bar. That's where Blake made all his, and I think they're international and cheaper than Teespring, but not completely sure of the details. Okay.
Yeah, I'll check them out.
Yeah,
Sure.
I just wrote it down. I'll definitely do that too.
Yeah, I know Blake's got his available in the U.S. now.
Chewy said you may want to look at local T-shirt makers that accept 48 minimum, 12%. So I did do that, and it was a place where it was the damnedest thing I've ever seen. They got these giant printers, and they put the shirt out there, and they run them through, and they're literally printing on there. They're not. Hey, Streetwise is here, so they're not just ironing something on, and they're not printing or not doing this or that. It's a different sort of thing, but they were still $22 a shirt. So, hey, so I'm going to be quiet and let's talk to Streetwise for a while. I run my mouth too much.
It's the first time I believe I've actually seen Streetwise on the stream. I don't know that he has a mic. I know he said he bought 2. But
I do. I'm feeding right now.
Well, we can hear you, so you can talk and feed at the same time. What are you feeding?
I like a lot of variety. This is some Fluval Bug Bites bottom feeder, but I'll probably throw some other stuff in there just to have some action. I'm going to move the tripod a little bit.
So what are we looking there? A dirted tank?
Yeah, so I run all dirt tanks. Sorry, let me just get my audio right. Okay. Can you guys?
You must have a cat. Hear the cat meowing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He says he wants fed too.
Yeah, time to milk the cat.
I do. Yeah.
He says he wants fed too.
Yeah, he just asked.
Thank you for coming in, Still in you. Appreciate you. I see you all the time in Catfish's streams. You're always welcome in mine.
Okay, now I see it. Hey, Still in you. How you doing?
All right, let's see if I can get the yo-yo to come out too.
Alice, where are you at in Europe?
What kind of webcams did you buy?
I got a pair of the Logitech Brio 4K webcams. They finally came into stock at Best Buy. Although I'm finding that trying to get 2 webcams on a live stream uses a lot of processing power, and
It does.
as a computer guy, I shouldn't be surprised by that, but I was, especially when you try to like have an extra one for your face.
Are you trying to stream both of them in 4K?
I think I'm streaming just in 720 right now, just because of bandwidth. But I wanted to just be prepared. Plus,
Right.
I couldn't get the lower end small stream cams. They just weren't available. So when these better ones showed up, I was like, everybody and their brother needs a webcam right now. So I was happy to take what I could get, and even if maybe it's more than I need, I certainly won't outgrow it.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me see if it lets me switch to the other one. Oh no, I don't. I'm not sure if I can as a StreamYard guest. Maybe I have to remove myself and re-add with the other one.
You should be able to possibly go down to cam and mic, and you should be able to select which cam you want to show.
Hey, Streetwise, would you say the name of that webcam again?
It's the Logitech Brio. It's their 4K webcam. It's got a USB-C interface on the camera itself, although unlike their newer, smaller ones, it has USB-A on the computer end.
Okay.
You could run whatever cables are necessary for your generation. Now I'm going to try to play with the Focus app. So I don't think autofocus is necessarily the best.
Not with fish, I can promise you.
Especially shrimp. Let's see.
I was going to say, Nathan, why don't you maybe make him full screen?
I will. Give me just a second.
Yep.
I'm posting a link right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm going to drop some food in too. I really like the Aquarium Co-op Easy Fry food, even though they don't really advertise it for shrimp. Shrimplets love it.
I have such horrible luck with shrimp. I can make cherry shrimp grow, but nothing else.
One more time. What was that webcam called? I'll post a link in the chat.
Logitech Brio 4K. So right now we're looking at a 3.5 gallon tank, and it's a dirted tank again. And I started with like a half dozen of these cherry reds, and now I probably have like 30 to 40 shrimp in there. I think it's my best breeding success.
Oh.
But we're only seeing one right now, so.
I was going to post a link if I could find it on Amazon, but I'm not showing it on Amazon. I don't like to post eBay links because you never know.
Yeah, I had to get mine through Best Buy because Amazon's been, not showing out of stock stuff as aggressively as before all this time we're living in. Maybe if I throw in a little more shrimp food, some of those fry will show.
That's not a very cheap camera either. It's like a $200 camera.
Yeah, I think it was, I want to say like 160, 170. With the tech stuff I do, it's if I can afford it, I'd like to buy once and not have to
Yeah, I agree.
not think about upgrading, like, because otherwise I'll just be researching, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually
Right.
found this over on Amazon, and they want $311 and
Yeah, that's a private seller. Best Buy, I back ordered it, and it was supposed to come in on the 9th, and it showed up on Monday. So it was actually fairly fast.
Hmm.
And maybe that's a benefit of being slightly more expensive, is that it's not on everyone's radar who just needs to join a Zoom meeting.
Right.
Right.
Because I was going to say, I'm looking at the Best Buy price of $199.
I can check my receipts.
Oh, it's got to be, within a couple of bucks of that.
Yeah.
Now I've got an old, and I mean an elderly, maybe 7-8 years old iMac that I'm streaming on right now. And I mean, it does fine for this kind of stuff, but I mean, if you really want a close up of the fish, that's not the tool to be using.
Yeah, I have a work gave me a 2019 MacBook Air, and I tried streaming with that, and it's just not beefy enough.
No, it's not.
Especially since it has a really light graphics card. So what I'm using now is a 2011 Mac Mini that I patched to run 10.14. That's why it took me longer to jump in, because the software update had to do something, because it's running past its official OS last version.
Yeah, I was going to say you're on borrowed time, buddy.
Yeah.
I can get it to Mojave. Sorry, where are we? Catalina. I can get it to Catalina, but I decided just to jump to Mojave now because of a Logitech compatibility thing.
And that makes all the sense in the world. I was in IT for almost 40 years of my career, and it's really funny too. I mean, I retired a year ago, and it's almost like I was never in the industry at all, because
I know it don't take long to get behind.
Holy cripe!
Yeah, I'd say besides best practices, that 90% of my knowledge is expired.
Yeah.
But like what to do, how to deal with problems in a generic way, that's still true.
Hey, that's cool, Roy and Becky. And I seen you come in earlier. I meant to say something. Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Roy and Becky.
I was just bored.
You are correct on the price. Oof. Oh, there we go. The Shrimper's starting to show up.
Is that about what you paid Streetwise?
Yeah, I checked my receipt. That's what it was.
Yeah, okay. It's not unreasonable. And you're getting a good picture there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not pixelating, it's not stopping, it's not starting,
Yeah.
I like the fact
some part's extremely hard to film anyway.
I like the fact that, like, one of the things I've spotted on other streams when I'm like, okay, they have everything else right, but they have auto white balance, and every time their face goes into the camera, the whole color tone changes.
Yeah.
So it's nice. This lets me turn off like auto white balance if I want.
Yeah, they go from blue to red, blue to red, blue to red.
Well, you know what's funny too is people would tell you, well, I don't know about any of that stuff. That's just way too fancy for me. Here's the thing. You may not understand what it all means, but trust me, you're not going to like the picture that you see. So, you might want to just learn a couple of the handful of terms and stuff. So you're right on the auto white balance. No two ways about that.
So you can see I'm like manually tweaking the focus a little bit here.
Yeah.
Which, I've got it right on the glass, so to prevent glare. So something's got to be blurry, either foreground or background, but I can at least just slide a little slider.
So one of the things I'm playing around with is Rust-Oleum plastic paint on a sleeve of glass that I can put inside the tank, not on the outside, but on the inside of the tank. and I'm going real dark colors, and I'm finding that it cuts down on glare and bounce and hot spots quite a bit. Now, I don't feel comfortable leaving the glass in there, for days and days and days. I just put it in for, however many pictures I'm going to take and then pull it back out again. But it's been an interesting experiment.
Yeah, that does sound cool. So I saw a couple people subscribe to my stream. I
jumped in there.
I have a video pending that Anthony's Fishy Friends and Redfish Bluefish offered to do an intro for me on Friday. So I hope that streaming time doesn't step on any toes. I guess technically it's like midnight Eastern, but I've got an hour-long video going up, shot in one take, of setting up 3 20-gallon outdoor dirted tank ponds.
Well, so I'll do my best to be there. I think this is where I think a lot of us are landing on this reserved time for live streams and stuff, because everybody is stuck home. I mean, there's literally, it's wall-to-wall live streams, and I think you just kind of have to just go when you go, and your people will migrate toward you as they can.
Yeah,
go ahead,
I do a lot of rewatch too. If I miss it, I rewatch it.
Yep.
I may not go back and rewatch a 8-hour live stream, but the videos I go back and rewatch if I miss premiere or something.
I mean, my time, at least for the last couple of weeks, has been 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and I always laugh and say, because like last week there were 14 live streams on Wednesday. If anybody made it through all 14 of those, I think they deserve some kind of an award.
Some of these days I'll go from one to another, but by the end of the day, I feel like I've been chasing chat. My eyes just like scrolling.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And there's several dead times. If you're not a full-time employee or anything, there's several dead times during the day. I mean, this is a random stream, just random. And I got, I don't know how many 10 people in here, and it's just random. So if you could schedule something, early evening, or like, I know Big J's Fish Keeping and River Life do streams on Monday mornings, and man, they're great.
I mean, I work 7:30 to 4, but it's at home at this desk, and most of them just waiting for emails from staff members wanting tech support. So I could easily pull this off until the schools get normal again.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm just kind of dipping my toes in the water with, I don't know, YouTube has this debut stream thing. I don't know if you guys have tried it, but it's like you have a recorded video, but then it premieres at a certain time.
Right.
If you want to chat. So that's kind of my test run with this first video, and also just to see if I could go an hour without saying too many ums. I didn't actually plan on getting the tanks done in under an hour, but when I hit cut, it was like 59 minutes and 33 seconds, and I was like, that's a pretty good time. That it won't bore people, and
oh yeah,
or maybe it will, but they could fall asleep to it.
Streetwise DMC wants to know where you got your shrimp from.
These particular shrimp I got from my local fish store in South Burlington, Vermont, called Pet Advantage, but I've been buying online from Detroit Shrimp and Aquatics.
That's what he was asking. Did you buy those from Detroit Shrimp?
I have a batch coming. There are actually 3 batches coming for those outdoor ponds that I'm setting up. I've got a batch of oranges, that are going to be on their own with no fish, a batch of yellows on their own, and then a batch of oddballs. And in that tub, I'm going to put orange white cloud mountain minnows.
Hey,
So we'll
Mark,
see. I've never done outdoor tubs, and Vermont's a little bit on the cold side, so.
Well, that was going to be my question, the fact that how on earth are you going to do, frankly, anything outside in Vermont? I'm in Ohio, and it still hasn't warmed up enough for me to even put a guppy outside.
I don't know the range of guppies. I've never kept them, but from what I've researched about white clouds, they can go down to about 50 or something.
Well, they probably can, but didn't you say you were putting shrimp out there too?
Sorry, say again?
I'm sorry, didn't you say you were putting shrimp out there as well?
I am. I mean, I run my Neos without heaters, but it's possible I may need to leave them in an indoor tank until summer is full on. I'm kind of experimenting a little bit here.
I gotcha. Okay.
But I don't know. Do you have a Neo temp range?
Well, I guess I thought that Neos were, and I don't, I'm no expert. I have reds like you have there, and I've managed to keep them alive. But I mean, the tanks that I keep them in are in their 80s. I've got them in with plecos and stuff like that. I guess I thought that they could probably go down to 70 and maybe the mid 60s. But I'll tell you, here in Cleveland, I mean, we've been getting still into the 40s every night.
Let's see.
It's getting right here in Mississippi. I mean, I've had fish out for about 3 weeks now, no problem.
So Wikipedia says, I'll give both the degrees in case there's non-Americans listening. So 14 to 29 Celsius, 57 to 84 Fahrenheit. So I think I was inspired about Neo's outdoors because of some of the LRB tales.
Well, you could be right on that, and I got to tell you, maybe that's why I'm not having much success with
your Neos are hot.
I'm sorry?
Your Neos are a little bit hot.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Not too much. I mean, it's still in the range.
Well, I'm not, like I say, I'm only having luck with reds. You had blues or any other color, and they die.
I have blues in another 3.5 gallon, and I also added a couple orange reliefs in that tank from Detroit. See what happens. Another tank, I've got a bunch of oddballs in a 7.5 with some Ember Tetras. The tank with the yo-yo and the shark, that just has mono shrimp. Then I have another community tank with yellow Neos, but their numbers are probably impacted by the fact that I had to make it a community tank because of my silly rainbow shark purchase in a different tank.
Well, I was going to
Detroit has about the best prices on shrimp right now. He has really good prices. Seems to me like, anyway.
My local store has pretty good deals, and they seem to have good stock. But the stuff from Detroit is a little bit more interesting. Plus, he has a good stream too. He's not on the YouTube streamer schedule. He streams pretty much every night.
Yeah, every night.
Yeah, for 2 to 4 hours. And what I really like about his stream is that he's one of those folks, and maybe a lot of us understand this, that get that fish keeping and shrimp keeping is a positive mental health activity. And so he kind of recognizes that, a lot of people are there who might have PTSD or anxiety or depression. And,
Right.
this whole act of taking care of small bits of life and watching it thrive is, really good for your mental health, whatever else you're doing for your mental health. I know it's been good for me, especially during this lockdown, and then, or whatever, whatever stage we're in. But
and finding community online, you know, that's not about like sniping on Facebook or arguing on Reddit or whatever. We're just like celebrating everyone's, you know, mutual gains. It's heartwarming, and you know, when I feel stuck away from my friends and family, I have like a whole new, you know, hobby family online.
I agree with you most wholeheartedly on that.
I will make a suggestion to you, Streetwise. I know and I know Detroit does it. Is he just does random? He's not on a schedule. But what helped me a lot is I have one scheduled stream a week, and I stick to that one stream a week, and then I just stream whenever I want to after that.
I agree. That's my plan. This thing on Friday is like a one-off. I think Anthony is kind of like letting me shoehorn in, you know, because it's just like it's like a one-off episode.
Sure.
And that'll kind of be my test run. And then as I dial in this technology, you know, I'll find a spot on the schedule that doesn't step on any toes. And
yeah, I think it gives people a place that if they like your streams and want to watch you, it gives them a place, a time and a place to go find you.
Sure. I don't know if I'm allowed to post a link, but I had to rejoin Facebook, and I'm not a Facebook fan just for the YouTube schedule. But Fishroom Fever collected it on his webpage.
Yeah,
so
I'll post that one. I'll post that link. That's the link. That's the link I use too.
I think it's his main Fishroom. I mean, I can post the link, but I don't know if it would go through since I'm not a mod.
It's not going to allow you to. I'll post it.
But anyway, that's kind of nice for anyone who doesn't want to join Facebook. I think some of the times are still
some of them. I mean, it's pretty much accurate, but there are a few.
Most of, I'd say it's 90% accurate. I'd say some of the big streamers like Corvus, someone else is posting his times, but he's maybe shifted a little bit.
By the way, I really like Corvus a lot. I love his streams.
Yeah, I like his streams too.
Ooh, gotta adjust the focus. They come closer.
So, I was going to say earlier when we were talking about shrimp, so I put in an order for some blues. I got them, put them in the tank. About a week later, I got more leeches than I have shrimp.
Leeches?
Still no luck getting rid of them?
Nah, well, I think I got to just dump everything out of the tank.
He also has all the GoFundMe things for like Pam and Candy Overhauls and whatever GoFundMe. They're on that website as well.
So just one little note about this shrimp tank. I get most of my, I can't remember where I got this dirt, but most of it I get from a local composter. This might have actually been like the last batch of Miracle Grow I could find before it got rebranded or whatever. But you can see these shrimp are cleaning off the wood bits, which I usually sift out unless I'm lazy, but they seem to love it. I mean, I'm sure it's got little biofilm and it's slowly decomposing, but yeah, you can see them like picking up these little pieces of bark.
Sure. So that's what you're using as Miracle Grow as your dirt?
I used Miracle Grow Organic for a couple tanks, but after they rebranded or whatever to Scott something, like I don't even know which is the old Miracle Grow Organic choice. But in this tank, it's probably capped. I probably have about 1.5 inches of that, maybe 1 inch of the Imaginatarium black sand, and then just a smattering of gravel to kind of block erosion from power heads pushing water around.
Okay.
Adds a little weight. So
you don't really
crazy
have
on
a
the
tank
sand
cap
plus
on.
whatever's escaped from the dirt.
So you really don't have a tank cap on top of your dirt then.
Sorry, did you say a tank a cap?
Sand cap. Do you have a
Yes,
you have a
yes,
sand?
always a sand cap. So about an inch and a half of organic potting soil, about an inch and a half of sand, and maybe a quarter inch of gravel, if that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I go back and read Diana Wallstead's book, or at least chapters and sections every few months.
Yeah, and learn something every time too.
Have you guys seen that book? You can get it in digital format and throw it on your phone or iPad, and then you have a great reference document.
I absolutely have not seen that, and I just wrote down the name. So
I think the official title is The Ecology of the Planted Tank.
Hey, Lefty.
And basically she, is a scientist who, gave us a template for dirted tanks. Like, I know a lot of people these days are looking, or at least in the fish tube community, are looking at was it Fish Father Fish?
Father Fish.
So there's a lot of overlap between her and Father Fish, but I think they would have slightly different opinions about sand cap depth. And that's based on some interactions I had directly with Diana on the Planet Tank forum, where I was like, yeah, here's my tanks. And she's like, yeah, you screwed up a little bit and you've got too much anaerobic. And I was kind of, tucked my tails between my legs, but took the advice. I think Father Fish, I like that guy. I subscribe to his stream, but sometimes when he says like just add more sand or deep sand bed, if you go back and watch some of his older stuff, he's like, that takes 6 months to establish. So
yeah, he's got 120-gallon long that he said he's got like 6 inches of substrate in.
So sometimes when I hear certain advice repeated, and I think new people are listening, I'm always afraid that there's not enough context to the advice. So it's like, yeah, he's adding more sand, but he already probably had it locked in at less sand. But if you were a newbie and you try to go 6 inches deep or whatever on day 1,
yeah, it's gonna take forever to cycle.
Yeah, and put fish in on day 14, anyway, I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong. Or it's another example would be like Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Like, he gives great advice and he always keeps the beginner in mind. But sometimes I'll hear him saying add crushed coral to all tanks, and I'm like, dude, you're in a softwater region. That's excellent softwater advice. But in my tank, it wouldn't hurt anything. I could certainly add all the crushed coral that you tell me, but with my hard water, the Mopani wood is taking me in the direction that I want to go.
Yeah.
So I'm not disagreeing with Corey, and I'm not saying that advice would hurt anybody, but just get the context. If the YouTuber is in a soft water region, maybe you got to tweak the advice. If the YouTuber is in a hard water region, maybe shift it the other way.
Hey, I have a question for y'all on the stream. I found a really cool piece of wood today, and the inside, like the outside, is dried hard, really hard, and the inside was moist and had termites in it. And I went and scraped all that out, and I've got it out drying. If I bake that and then pressure wash the inside of it and then bake that, would that be okay to use in the aquarium?
does it sink?
Well, not now, but I'm gonna soak it so that it will sink.
I mean, for me, that's really the only question. I don't even bother to soak my Mopani wood anymore. I like the tannins. I don't. If I want to remove them, I can, but they're antimicrobial, antibacterial, and with hard water, they're a little bit of a down buffer.
Yeah.
But functionally, I think sinking is going to be. Are you going to have to tie it down or rock it? Put rocks on it. But if it's decomposing in the tank, you're going to have things that will eat it.
It has tons of hollow spaces in it that I could put some rock in it to sink it. That wouldn't be an issue. You wouldn't even see the rock.
I think some of my organisms have dug out chambers in my old wood, and it's kind of cool. I mean, my monoshrimps are all brown because they're snacking on wood bits.
Yeah.
So I think you'll be okay. Do you know what kind of wood it is?
I don't. I think it's some type of oak. It's old. It's an old piece of wood. It's nothing really identifiable about it. Nothing left to identify it by, really.
I guess one test you could do would be to maybe put it in a bucket with tank water, measure the bucket parameters, and leave it for 2 weeks, and then you can see if it pushes your chemistry in a certain direction.
Yeah, I can do that.
And it might be a beneficial direction. And if it's decomposing, it might be making food.
Yeah.
I want to see that story.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to interrupt. I gotta run. Nathan, thanks so much for having me in here.
Oh yeah, we're fixing to get off because we're running into Melvin's time. I know Melvin streams can kind of get kind of long and boring, but every time he gets his channel built up, he goes and changes his name and loses everybody.
It starts all over.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
He's going to have something to not have to hold his phone.
Okay. Well, there you go. All right. Hey, everybody. Thank you. Nathan.
Thanks for coming up, Small Fry.
Oh, you betcha. I'll catch you next time, bud.
Thanks, Small Fry.
Yeah,
Thanks
I probably
again.
won't
Thanks
be
for
on
letting me
tonight
test my
because
setup
Blacky's on.
Okay. So you guys were both talking. I think I heard most of you, Nathan. You said not tonight. And Streetwise, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I'll catch all you guys on the next time around.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Small Fry. Yeah, Streetwise, I'm gonna go on and end it here. Head over to Melvin, show him some support.
Sounds good, Stan. This is cool. I really appreciate you.
You're always welcome.
Test my setup.
Your camera looks good.
It's fun.
So yeah,
I got you subscribed. So the next time you have a
anytime,
random one, I'll point my camera to tank while you talk.
Yeah, holler at me anytime. You know I'd always do random streams late at night. Holler at me. Come up on the panel. Show some of your stuff.
Oh, hey, here's Redfish.
What's up, Jason? Hope you're doing good. I know you're busy. Hate you come in when you did. I'm glad you made it, but we were fixing to end and go show Melvin some support. I actually like mowing the yard, redfish, bluefish. Hey, this is Redfish. That's Streetwise's new webcam he's got on the screen. I don't like mowing when it's drizzling rain. Not only that, it makes a mess of the yard because the grass just piles up.
My folks live in the woods, and like I think my dad prefers firewood to lawn mowing, so he's gradually letting the woods take over the yard because the yard doesn't produce any firewood.
Yeah. Some people like it, some people hate it, and I can't stand the weed eat, but I don't mind mowing. Roundup is my weed eater.
I remember having to mow as a kid on uneven ground, and the worst part was going under an apple tree.
Yeah.
You'd come out with a scratch back, and the grass would be growing so bad you wouldn't know if you mowed it or not.
Yeah. We had apple trees when I was little, and those limbs are always so low. You'd end up with apples in your lap and throw apples everywhere when you're mowing, and bees everywhere on those rotten apples.
Oh, let me be specific. A crab apple tree.
Oh, that's great old big
Even more
apple.
stubborn.
Okay, redfish, bluefish. I hate you come in late. This was just random. I was bored. Nobody was streaming. But we are gonna go over and support Melvin. He's got about 45 minutes left. And I appreciate all y'all coming by. If you hadn't, hit the thumbs up on your way out. And I'll see y'all over at Melvin's. Let's go over there with hashtag SCA. See y'all.
Thanks for hosting, Sand Creek.